Hey Internet, we are here with the new Chleo, which is probably one of the craziest releases from PRS in a long time. Herman Lee, Dragon Force, Shredder, you know, this guitar was years in the development. Everyone saw the video online of him breaking the guitar in half. Happily, they fixed that. But I was very surprised, actually more so to see the SE version come out, which is why today we're talking, of course, about a comparison. What is the difference between the Core and the SE? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is the price.
Oh my Lord, it is.
Usually we end with that, but I felt like it was good to start with that because it is so significantly different. So SE, we are talking $1,999, which we'll get to more of that in a second. But the Core is $6,850. Big difference, big difference, big difference. And of course, you all cringed when you just heard that number. But I have some commentary on both of these later in the video because there's a lot of work that goes into these guitars on a manufacturing standpoint, which you might not understand if you haven't been around that type of stuff before. But we'll get there, we'll get there. So, J-Lock. Similarities. Lots of stuff's actually pretty similar.
There's a lot of stuff. They have definitely some aesthetic look differences and some hardware stuff. I mean, pickups are the same, which is...
The pickups are exactly the same.
Which is a cool feature because sometimes people get a little...
That's usually the big difference between a really expensive guitar and a...
I can't get these pickups.
Less expensive guitar. So pickups are the same, which is very cool. Electronics are a bit different. We'll get there in a minute. The Dragon inlay is the same inlay, different material, but the same inlay. Maple neck and board. And the profile, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, the profile is great.
The neck is basically the same.
Yeah, I couldn't really feel much difference at all. Like, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. 25.5-inch scale, 20-inch radius, satin finish on the body and the neck on both of these. You know, mahogany back and maple body on both of these. So a lot of similarities, actually. A lot of similarities. And I would also say, too, going back to that neck feel, when we were talking in our like a little research time before the video, we agree the neck is kind of like the SE Silver Sky to the USA Silver Sky, which if you've watched that video, we can throw a link up. You can see that too. Similar, it feels a little faster, would say. The
neck is the same, the finish. The satin is the same, but the finish, the style of satin finish is different.
You can feel it, yeah. It's a
and a lot of times we have customers actually prefer the SE finish on the Silver Skies. This is a similar vibe. So without belaboring that, you can figure it out pretty quick. So, differences, where it gets a little more exciting. Country of origin, of course. Indonesia in PRS's factory down there versus USA, of course. And there's a lot of talking points here is body shape. The body shape is different.
Yes.
Like completely. It's actually completely different body. It's the same, but completely different.
Yeah, the contouring is way different.
Yeah, one of the most important parts is the little... what is this? Swoop?
Swoop.
And the upper horn is definitely totally different. But knob layout, knob position is completely different. But then you get into, of course, all of this crazy carvy stuff that's happening in the USA version, which is why it's so expensive.
Time.
Right? That is a ton of time, not only on the machines, the CNCs that carve them, more importantly, actually, is in sanding. So when you're in that USA factory and we're paying USA wages and we're sanding all of this...
Forever, sanding forever.
Yes, there's a lot of sand that goes into this.
Forever.
That labor takes a while. The more curves, the more humps, the more aggressive that top is. That's why the CE guitars that are made in America are a little bit flatter top. There's a little bit less sanding time in there. So there's a lot of time into this guitar. In order to get what Herman Lee wanted, it took a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort every time they build one, right? And even in the SE too.
And I will say as a side note, I'm kind of happy that the SE didn't try to completely match it.
I actually agree
because I think you save some money, and it's doing the job. This is a little more almost traditional looking, quote unquote. But
let me talk the SE up a little bit. Again, on to price here is. Although it's $19.99 for an SE, which might be a little scary, there's some stuff on this guitar that is really cool and really unique. No other guitar. For example, the jack, the output jack and the pickup switch, the little surround there, you might not actually notice there's no fasteners front facing.
Right, you don't have any screws or anything like that.
Which is really cool, actually. most guitars, we just throw hardware over them. It doesn't look clean. Very interesting feature. And those parts, again, on the manufacturing side, if you've ever worked in manufacturing, every part is custom made. So that's more tooling, more molds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort that went into making the SE really clean and really good representation of the USA version, which I have a lot of respect for. Because there's a lot of guitars that are $2,000 made out of Indonesia that are just off-the-wall parts that aren't anything special. So you can see a lot of time and care and love that went into that, especially on the SE. So other important differences, actually, let me talk about one more thing about body shape that's very important. On the core guitar, Tom will show you some B-roll on here. It's like that thick on the sides. I mean, it is super,
thin,
super narrow.
Thin.
Yeah, thin. The SE, on the other hand, is thicker. Right? It doesn't have as aggressive of a curve. That would be one of the things that's hard to describe in photos, but when you see it on video, you hold it in your hands, really, really big difference. Very big difference there. It's still thin on the SE, not close as thin.
Yeah, this still hits all like the shredder guitar aesthetics.
Yeah,
the sleekness,
exactly.
The slimmer
the thin
profile.
guitar thing.
This is just even
the
thinner.
core is just like impressive. It's like, how did they do this? It's crazy, crazy. The output jacks, of course, we were just mentioning, are different. On the core guitar, it's actually carved into the body and it's inset into the body. Like you have to stick your finger like in. It's crazy how deep that thing is. Way, way different. Now, if you're a shredder god, you have to buy the core. Why is it, J-Lock?
Those last 4 frets are scalloped, so you can fly away.
Can't get that on the SE, you know.
Can't shred on that.
You got to really. That's going to cost you an extra $5,000 or whatever it is if you need those scalloped frets. But that is a big difference. You can't get it on the SE. So, Jay, tell us about the tremolo difference.
So they both feel great. Both are totally, functioning Floyds. The one, obviously, you have the Go to Japan Floyd here, right? This one does have a adjustable, basically a block in the back where you can have a fixed point where the bridge always returns to, right? And you can adjust it so you can still pull up. You can set it so it only dives, but it helps, maintain tuning. It's always back to that set point after you do your setup.
Which for someone like Herman Lee, who is just an insane person with a tremolo.
You kind of want something that goes back where it always should be.
And I was already hearing some internet chatter about people being disappointed that isn't a feature on the SE, but I wonder if that's an upgrade path in the future, if there's like an aftermarket version or something. I don't know. Maybe that's something that could happen.
But the SE, by all means, if you've had a Floyd, similar to this, it's the same thing. You're not, any of the same experience is going to translate.
Yeah,
so it's like,
if you're used to a Floyd Rose 1000 series, then
exactly.
Yeah, it's a good trem. Gold hardware on the core, which looks great.
Looks great.
Looks super good.
Gives it the pop.
I'm usually not a gold hardware guy. It looks great. The SE only comes with the black chrome, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, to be honest with you. But that's just personal preference for me.
I mean, it looks great as a unit, though. Like, there's nothing.
It looks good. Gold
I know the gold. You're looking next to gold.
The inlay material is different, of course. We've mentioned that earlier. Locking tuners on the core, which, I don't know. It makes your string change faster, but in this case with a locking nut, do I care that much? Me? I don't know. It is nice.
I played the fifth on that one.
Yeah.
I played the fifth.
Strap locks are included on the core, which is also kind of neat because that's not a thing for PRSs usually. They always come with that.
Right. But Herman Lee is chucking his guitar, and you need a strap
all this crazy
lock.
stuff. Exactly. So that's pretty neat too. Major difference also. But besides the trem is the electronics. In the back of the core guitar is wild. We've got 2 voice switches, a voice switch and an inversion mini switch on the back.
There's a whole lot going on with it.
We have a rechargeable battery, also first time on a PRS, super cool. I'm a fan, people get scared of it, I'm a fan of the rechargeable battery thing. Even all like the goofy little devices I have in my house now, that you used to put batteries in. You get used to it, you got USB-C, pop that thing in there.
And as much of that could be a fear, 9 volts are not cheap anymore.
No.
And if you're changing those regularly for stuff,
we buy them by the bulk, and it's horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gets pricey. So.
Yeah, and it's easy
Plus
enough
minus.
to throw it on there really quick before your gig or something.
Yeah.
You already have a power supply for your phone. What's the big deal? I'm a big fan of it. I'm a very big fan of it. We're not going to go super hard on the whole mini switch configuration explanation because that's covered really well in PRS videos. But just so you know, that is not a thing on the SE, in case you were wondering. The back of these guitars is very different. We'll B-roll the crap out of this because it's completely wild.
Use your eyes, use your eyes, yeah.
Yeah. The most important thing to note here, besides a ton of stuff, is the neck joint. Of course, the set neck on the core guitar, the bolt-on neck on the SE. The thing that's fascinating about it, though, is that they're relatively similar in feel. When you get your hand up on the top of that neck heel,
it's not dramatically different at all.
I don't really notice a dramatically different feel. They did a really good job of keeping that set neck and bolt-on joint pretty similar in feel, and I think it's a very important thing to note. And then also color-wise, so this color is the same name, right?
Same color.
It's the same color. It looks way different.
Yeah.
You can probably see here with them sitting next to each other. The burst in the SE is, I'm assuming, more of a sprayed burst, where this is more stained. I don't know exactly, but it just presents a lot differently. But of course, that's what you get from a hand staining process in the core.
Right.
Excuse me, in the core guitar, which takes them a long
yeah.
time, which is part of the price. People don't necessarily think about that sometimes. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Additional colors that are available besides these two are not the same. So we have Orchid Dust for the core is a secondary color, and Mantis Burst on the SE. And one other thing that you wanted to mention about the trem bar.
Oh yeah, so we were doing our setup. Now, this could be just on this one that we saw. I'm usually not, when I have my trems, I don't love having the bar sky high, for me personally. I did notice, because you have your push-pulls, on some of the SEs, you start catching when you're in pulled up position. So if, with these, you can change how the 5-way switch.
Well, and you can raise the bar too.
Yeah, you could raise the bar, but in full down position, that's also full down. I was catching this. So that's just a truth. Hey, we saw it. This is the bar that came with it.
Yeah,
obviously,
make sure you
could run it a little higher. It's totally going to be fine. But for me, I like having stuff close. So that was a little sidebar I saw. That was interesting.
Yep. Besides that, well, so you get what I'm saying now. They're totally different.
But they're like the same.
But like the same.
Yeah.
Like same, but different. Very confusing in that way. So without further ado, let's hand these over to J-Lock. We are not going to play through the Fire and Flame.
I can't do it. I don't have that ability. I'm not a Dragon Force guy.
Yeah, we're just going to put that out there. And actually, we're intentionally not going to play a bunch of Dragon Force with super high gain. We want to play with some clean tones so you can hear what these guitars actually sound like, so that you can compare these two guitars for your purposes. Obviously, you might gain them up or whatever, but just so you can hear a little better versus dousing them in gain.
Yes,
that makes
right
them kind of
from the
sound the
jump.
same.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, take it away, J-Lock. you want to know what the difference is between the tone of the SE and the core?
Yes.
I can tell you exactly. It's very easy.
Let me hear it.
It's the same exact as every other SE and core guitar. The core sounds more lively, sounds a little deeper,
open,
a little more open,
yeah,
little warmer yet tighter, yet it's like more musical.
Yeah, a little more responsive almost.
Right? Very interesting comparison, because what does that tell us? That means that the tone woods actually matter. That means that they're higher quality woods out of the USA factory, right? They're still the same woods, but they're high quality woods. The neck joint actually matters. And the hardware actually matters, right? The components.
And maybe some electronics components behind the scenes. Right?
Some of that stuff in the backside of it, yeah,
different
exactly.
USA pots can be a little cleaner.
But you're mostly hearing, what you're mostly hearing is the wood and the construction and the components, which is interesting and a great way to end, because that's exactly what Paul Reed Smith preaches.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what he says, is all these components add up to a better sounding guitar. That's exactly what we hear here.
Here.
And on that bombshell, we're going to end. Make sure to buy our merch. It's cold now, so you can grab yourself a beanie. Subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments any thoughts, ideas, questions, and we are happy to help. Talk to you all soon.